Boop, boop, boop.
Okay, our next movie is Patty's. Let's watch a clip.
If I told you about her, the princess without voice, what would I say?
Eliza, come on. Eliza, hurry, hurry.
Okay, the movie I chose was Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro, written by Guillermo del Toro and Vanessa Taylor, but directed by Guillermo del Toro. I have such a problem saying his name.
Whoa.
I love his movies, and I gotta say, Shape of Water is about a story about Eliza, who's a mute, isolated woman who works as a cleaning lady in a high security government lab in about 1962 Baltimore. Her life changes when she meets the lab's classified project, which is a mysterious scaled creature from South America. The people in the movie are Sally Hawkins, who plays Elisa. Doug Jones is a creature. Michael Shannon is kind of like the bad guy. He plays Strickland. Octavia Spencer plays Zelda, her best friend, and Richard Jenkins plays Giles, her next door neighbor. And what you see is this woman become attached to the creature, and she finds out they're going to kill it within 2 days, and she decides that she wants to, what do you call it?
Set it free?
Set it free in the canals of Baltimore. The one thing I really loved about this movie was the symbolism, and a lot of color had to do with symbolism. And also, too, Michael Shannon plays the best bad guy in the world. Michael Shannon represents the worst of the future. Green is the main color in the movie. It's to do with the future, and you see it in everything. But it represents the way Michael Shannon sees the future as, gelatin, cars. It's very cold, and the creature, who never has green on him, it's always these off blues, always has, he represents the past and what we can get from it. Now, Eliza, they tell you, Eliza, when she was born, was found by the river with 3 scrapes across her neck, which eventually, and this might be a, what do you call it?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. They eventually become gills.
I'll
So,
edit it out.
yes, right.
They have an important role in the film.
Right.
Yeah.
But the whole movie is about the power of the past and how it holds you back. And in her neighbor, Gil's, which is Richard Jenkins, who's freaking marvelous, he's an in-the-closet artist who basically only has her to depend on. And Octavia Spencer, who's her best friend, but they both end up helping her keep the creature. It's a beautiful movie. It's I wouldn't say a love story. It is a love story.
It is a love
and
story.
I hate love stories. But but it's done so well with humor, and the visual is unbelievable. So I would definitely recommend it.
George?
Yes, yeah, I love the movie too. I like Guillermo del Toro, all this, the way he does his films,
Yeah.
all this stuff. I'm a big fan of Sally Hawkins too. Actually, I really liked all the characters in it. They were just perfect. Octavia Spencer, we just she always brings that personality into it. Just kind of almost like the plucky comedic character. Yeah. But also Jenkins, he was also kind of like a plucky comedic character too.
He was.
And I like how he was things didn't face him. He's kind of depressed, but like there's scene in the movie where something happens to one of his cats, and he's like, well, you're lucky it wasn't you, kind of thing, to the other cat. So he's kind of just kind of the way he goes about things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me a bit of the Black Lagoon, but kind of like because of the creature.
Absolutely, that's exactly what he looked like.
But yeah, the whole movie did have a lot of the teal and turquoise seemed to be the theme. Because when I watched it a second time, I started to notice it in different places. The car, I noticed it on the wall. The wall was painted that color. I would just notice that the color became very predominant in it. I don't know why. Also, Sally Hawkins, I like that in this movie she plays a mute, and I became a big fan of her in Happy Go Lucky, where she never shuts up.
Oh, the movie I hated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was.
So I'm going, wow, you have somebody who talks so much and now plays a mute. But Guillermo liked her because her face is very expressive.
It really
She's
is.
got all this facial emotions or expressions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the movie. It's very. I also like the color in it too. The kind of Guillermo always
And
gets
the
this
Art
kind of
Deco.
dark.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It is Art Deco.
Well, I have to say that I was mesmerized when you watch it. The opening credits
Right.
of it, the opening, it's like what? It's like so fantasy, sci-fi,
Yeah.
romance actually.
Yeah.
But it's just weird enough that I like it. You know, you know what I mean? It's just a weird enough romance that I like it. But I actually read something really interesting. It was like one of those comments people. This guy wrote
Right.
a review,
Right.
not a review person, just comments,
person,
right, on
yeah.
Rotten Apples,
Right,
you know,
right.
whatever. That was like an essay,
Yeah.
right? And the things that he said that were really interesting, I thought, when he said, I went, yes, it's about loneliness.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's about loneliness. And you know how it's raining all the time, it's water.
Right.
And so it's almost like they're in a big ocean.
Well, water is one of the main symbolisms.
Yeah.
And it's
too.
emotion
But
too.
Yeah.
it's like these two people, or they're not people. These
Beings.
two beings
Beings, yes.
find themselves in this ocean. You know what I mean? That's why it's a happy ending. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yes, it's about loneliness, and this is to me, even it not quite, but almost challenges Pan's Labyrinth. Do you know what I mean? It was like
Which is
that,
another one of
which is
Guillermo's
Guillermo del Toro's, I think, masterpiece.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
this is his second masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's a visually beautiful movie. I love the way he plays with colors because, like Hellboy, he does color so interesting. You know,
Well, he's really big into symbolism, which
yes,
I love.
yes. And the thing too is I love the concept of this thing is like they say it's a god. That's what the bad guy says.
Yeah.
Michael
He
Shannon.
has healing powers.
He says it's a big. They worship it as a god. And as you see in the movie, it's like you go, is he a god? He may be.
Well, he has healing powers, but he's very innocent.
And let me just say, I was saying to George, gee, I don't know if Octavia Spencer shouldn't have got that award for Best Actress because she never stops talking
Right.
during the whole movie. And what I love is everybody's, and also Richard Jenkins as Giles, they talk to her the whole time. They're doing all the talking, but it's like they're having a conversation, and she is part of that conversation. I think that's very
You
clever.
forget that she's not
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah, it's very
Yeah.
clever the way they do it, and those two actors in particular,
Which one?
Octavia Spencer
Right.
and Richard Jenkins,
Right?
that they just carry that off so
do.
smoothly that it's like I was almost like, well, maybe she should have got the award. You know,
She
just,
was great
She
in it.
just kept. She's just talking all the time, and she's also telling you what she'd be like, you know, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Da, da, da. You know what I mean? She would just go on and on like that. She was great.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I think this movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And
What do you give it?
There's
homie,
also,
10.
there's also I think at the end there was a poem that they read, which if I could remember now, and it's a poem, I think it's To Water, To Water.
Yeah.
And I wish I remember because I would sound so smart. But I have to go back and
Well,
look at
you're
it.
living with us
Look it
now,
up when
maybe
you see
not.
the movie. So, yeah.
I give it a 10.
I give it a 10.
Yeah, 10 for me too.
It should be
That's
on your
an
to-do
amazing
list.
movie.
Yeah, and you can watch it multiple times.
Yeah.
We have.
Many,
Every
many
time I
times.
watch it, I go, damn, that's a good
You
movie.
learn something new each time.
Yes. Okay, so that is...
Ba-ba-ba-ba. We'll be back.
Doo-doo-doo.